Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack a super interesting piece of modern storytelling to see exactly how it ticks. Today we're looking at a wildly concise, 150-word children's story called Benny the Bunny and the Heart of Courage. Yeah, you heard that right, literally just 150 words. But honestly, it is a fascinating case study. We're going to break down exactly how it structures its narrative and brilliantly blends those timeless traditional morals with the absolute realities of digital age storytelling.
Okay, so let's dive right into this by asking a fundamental question. It's a question this text attempts to answer right out of the gate for its young audience. What does true bravery look like? I mean, it's a massive philosophical concept, right? But the author has a highly specific, totally actionable definition in mind that they want to impart to the reader, and they want to do it in under a minute.
Section 1. Framing the modern fable. Now, to truly understand this story, we first have to look at its packaging. It's wild. Notice the stark contrast between that classic, timeless feel of a forest fable and these hyper-modern digital calls to action. Before we even meet the bunny, the narrator literally breaks the fourth wall, going, "Hello, little friends," and then instantly followed by, "Don't forget to like and subscribe." It bookends the whole story, too, with the outro asking viewers to like, share, and subscribe and saying, "See you next time, bye." So this isn't just a story being read from some dusty old book. It's a bedtime story completely optimized for the algorithm, right alongside its moral instruction.
And look at how the narrator explicitly packages this. They call it one of many magical bedtime stories. By dropping that exact phrase in the outro, the creator is essentially transforming a simple little moral tale into a highly structured piece of consumable media. It's branding, pure and simple. It tells the audience, or let's be real, the parents of the audience, exactly what genre of content they're consuming, setting up this crystal clear expectation for future similar content.
All right, moving on to Section 2, Meeting Benny the Bunny.
The author does a brilliant job illustrating Benny's internal conflict right here. On one hand, we see what Benny loves, playing in the green forest. That establishes his innocence, his joy. But then boom, this is immediately contrasted with his fears. Dark caves and loud noises. He isn't some fearless superhero, you know? He's vulnerable, and that perfectly sets the stakes for his character arc. He's just a normal character, which is exactly what makes his eventual bravery so much more impactful for a young listener to connect with.
Which brings us to Section 3, the call to action.
You know, in a story of just 150 words, pacing is absolutely everything. If we map this out chronologically, just look at how fast Benny moves from passive observation to a decisive rescue. It's like lightning. At second 1, he hears a tiny voice crying, "Help! Help!" By second 5, almost instantly, he locates the source, a little bird caught in some branches. By second 10, the internal pivot happens. He remembers his mother's words despite being scared. And by second 15, he frees the bird. It's just this incredibly efficient narrative engine. It doesn't waste a single syllable.
And if we slow down and break down that critical moment, we see that the physical action, actually freeing the bird, is only possible because Benny first manages his internal state of fear. Step 1, he's feeling scared of the unknown situation. The text explicitly notes that he was scared. But step 2, he carefully pulls the branches apart anyway. He doesn't magically lose his fear, he acts in spite of it. That separation of emotion and action, that is incredibly sophisticated for a children's story.
So, Section 4, The Heart of Courage.
This piece of advice from Benny's mother is the absolute anchor of the text. Being brave doesn't mean you're never scared. It means you help even when you are scared. That right there is the ultimate turning point, giving Benny the resolve to act. It's a profound redefinition of bravery, honestly. So often, media portrays bravery as just a total absence of fear. But here, the story is telling its audience that fear is a natural prerequisite to bravery. You literally cannot be brave unless you are scared first.
The story leaves zero room for ambiguity here. It defines true courage strictly as helping others, even when you're afraid. It takes this grand abstract concept of bravery and it ties it directly to a highly practical, everyday action, just helping someone out.
Immediately following his action, the resolution provides immense social validation for Benny. The little bird chirps happily, thanking him, and then, crucially, all the forest animals cheer. They literally declare him the bravest bunny in the forest. This totally reinforces the behavior for the audience. It shows that stepping outside your comfort zone to help someone else brings gratitude, community approval, and just a really deep sense of belonging.
And because of that, we witness a permanent transformation. Think about the before and after here. Before this incident, Benny was totally defined by his limits, afraid of dark caves and loud noises. But after, the text notes that he's always ready whenever someone needs help. He shifts entirely from a fearful, passive bunny to this proactive helper. Why? Because he learned that courage doesn't come from being tough, it comes from kindness.
So as the narrator signs off, cheerfully asking for those likes, shares, and subscriptions, I want to leave you with a final thought, one that really transcends the digital packaging of this whole fable. Based on the very clear lesson we've just unpacked together today, who will you help the next time you feel afraid?